Building from the creation stories in Genesis, Christians have always taken for granted that creation had a beginning and that God was that cause, the first cause in the line of cause and events in the history of time. Physicist Stephen Barr notes, the idea that the universe and time itself had a beginning really did enter Western thought from the Bible, and indeed from the opening words of the Bible. Medieval theologians later asserted that God brought all of creation into existence out of nothing, creatio ex nihilo. Pioneering scientists like Kepler, Newton, and Galileo all took for granted that God exists and worked in his creation. Astronomer and mathematician Johannes Kepler once wrote, "The chief aim of all investigations of the external world should be to discover the rational order and harmony which has been imposed on it by God and which he revealed to us in the language of mathematics." Following the Enlightenment, though, many scientists started to explain things from all branches of science without the help of God. For example, evolution by natural selection without God. Many people lost faith because they felt science was proving religion and a theistic worldview wrong time and time again. By the beginning of the 20th century, the common belief about the universe was that it did not have a beginning, it had existed for all eternity. However, a series of events throughout the 20th century gave new life to the theistic worldview. They involved the development of the Big Bang Theory. In 1919, Einstein published his general theory of relativity, at a time when most scientists, including Einstein, believed that the universe had always existed as it did and had no beginning by a creator. However, Einstein soon realized that his equations did not work in a stable universe. They only worked if it was expanding or contracting. Einstein didn't like where the data was leading and attempted to work out theories to show how the universe could still be stable and eternal. He later admitted that his beliefs blinded him from seeing what others would later propose. The universe really was expanding and originated in a Big Bang, a failure he saw as the biggest blunder of his life. Later, Edwin Hubble confirmed that galaxies in the universe were moving far apart, at high speeds, so the universe was expanding, evidence which he shared with Einstein to convince him. Thereafter, Russian mathematician Alexander Friedmann and Belgian physicist and priest Georges Lamatte suggested that Einstein's theory of gravity coincided with a universe that had been expanding for 14 to 15 billion years and originated in an extremely small, dense concentration of matter. They became the founders of the Big Bang Theory. Father Lamette explained that the universe, and thus space itself, was expanding, and space was once non-existent. Moreover, according to Einstein's theory of gravity, space and time are linked, so time did not exist before the Big Bang either. Only something beyond matter, space, and time could have created them, and a logical conclusion is God. Consequently, the Big Bang has offered support for the Christian belief that God actually created both space and time in a single moment from which all of space, matter, and the universe have been expanding to the present time. Regarding this whole change of thought based upon scientific evidence, astronomer Robert Jastrow has quipped, "This is an exceedingly strange development, unexpected by all but the theologians. They have always accepted the word of the Bible. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. For the scientist who has lived by his faith in the power of reason, the story ends like a bad dream. He has scaled the mountains of ignorance. He is about to conquer the highest peak. As he pulls himself over the final rock, he is greeted by a band of theologians who have been sitting there for centuries."